Hello, this is Lucas Rubicky, and in this lesson we are going to address one of the most fundamental principles of good architecture, and that is the file structure. The goal of a sound file structure is the same as the code that lives within it. A file structure should be self-documenting to indicate intent. It should also lend itself to efficiency and the ability to locate resources quickly. I also believe it should promote modular composition that allows you to extend your file structure indefinitely without interfering with the existing code. This can be more art than science, and so I'm going to present one way to do it that has worked well for some very large Angular projects. Now, I'm not going to get religious about details that kind of hang in the balance of opinion. I would urge you, though, to favor consistency above all else, regardless of the specific details that you choose to implement. Normally, a file structure would grow organically, but we have a unique opportunity to see a file structure come together all at once because we are refactoring an existing project. With that said, we want to organize our code by features and not by type. So, for instance, we're not going to put all of our controllers into a single folder, our services into another folder, our directives into another folder, etc. This makes it very hard to pick up a single feature and move it somewhere else. It also makes testing a single feature in isolation really difficult because you have to reach into quite a few places to get the dependencies that you need. To illustrate this in action, we know that Eggley has two main features, categories and bookmarks. And we know that bookmarks actually belongs to categories. So let's create a file structure that indicates this relationship. So we will go over to the app directory here and create a categories directory. And within that, we will create a bookmarks directory. And so now we know that bookmarks belongs to categories. And we're also going to create a JavaScript and HTML template for each of these features. So we're going to create a categories JavaScript file. And a categories template. We're going to do the same for bookmarks. By grouping these files together, it makes it really easy to locate a single piece of functionality, and navigation is kept to a minimum. When we get to the testing series of Eggley, this is also where the specs would live. Now, we also have two unique states within bookmarks that we have defined as well. These are creating a bookmark and editing a bookmark, and so let's create the file structure within bookmarks to illustrate this relationship. So we're going to create a create directory. And we're also going to create an edit directory. And so within these directories, we're able to encapsulate creating or editing specific code and templates. And let's do the same for edit. And so now you can look at these file names and you know exactly what they do, but also the directories that they live in. It's very easy to ascertain the intent of what they do and the relationship that they have with the rest of the project. And one more thing that I want to address in this video that comes up when talking about files is where do you put something that needs to be shared across features? And the answer is that common features should go in a common directory. This is where I create most of my models, such as the bookmarks and categories model. So let's build out that structure real quick. So within the app directory, so essentially on the same hierarchical level as categories, We are going to create a common directory, and within there, we're going to create a models directory, and we will create a bookmarks model, and a categories model. And now that these files and folders have been created, we just need to include the resources into our main HTML file. So we'll jump down here to the bottom, paste these in, and this sets us up perfectly for our next lesson, where I will show you how to use submodules to organize the code that will actually live within these files. I'll see you in the next lesson.